Hello everybody, my name is Griff. I am back here bringing this video a little bit earlier because I had computer troubles earlier in the day, but I am here recording this video. Hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully nothing bad happens while I'm recording this video. If this video never makes the light of day, you'll probably see a bloopers uploaded or something. But we are here, Among One is back, and reviewing the This Month in Dragalia Lost, as well as the director Yuji Okada responding to player feedback, both of which have very big, subtly hinted things. So I do want to check on both of these, but let's just get right into this. So, this month in Dragalia Lost. Hello everyone, Yuji Okada here, director of Dragalia Lost. First off, I always want to thank you for playing Dragalia Lost. I am again excited to bring you the latest news on what's happening in and around the game this month. Time to celebrate the 3rd anniversary. Dragalia Lost reaches another monumental milestone on September 27th, 3 whole years since the game's release, or the release of the game rather. On behalf of the entire team, let me express my heartfelt gratitude for the passion and support that you've shown over these past 3 years. Just like last year and the year before, we prepared a whole host of events to celebrate, and I can't wait for you to dive and enjoy the festivities. So yes, 3rd anniversary, everyone knows that by now. 4 days in, 5 days in, 4 or 5 days in. Pretty exciting. I like the raid. I like Galazana. I like Bahamut. I don't have either of them yet. I'm going to get both of them. I'm hoping. Definitely going to get Zethia. I'm definitely going to have to spark Zethia probably, but we'll see what happens with my luck. Zethia forged a pact with Bahamut, a powerful figure who plays a major role in the events of Chapter 21 of the main campaign. Now their Dragalia versions are ready and raring to go. Galazana and Bahamut each have unique mechanics, so make sure to check them out. Just to recap on my Should You Summon video. I thought that they'd both be very strong. They're both extremely strong. Bahamut is a bit more leaned towards Christianity content because of his amps, and there are better dragons to synergize with dragon focus units like Alburius, for example, outside of that due to the dragon ramp mechanic. So he'll want Dragon's faster actually, so Bahamut isn't actually that much better than Nidhogg, but on someone like Galashell, who wants to be force striking, Galazana, who doesn't get the drawback, someone like Joker, all those units really like him. So there is a beneficial aspect to him in that. And then Galazana made her debut, really shaping Shadow Auto content right now. She's super good in that, super good in Azura. Just a very strong unit. There is a little bit of confusion about how to play her. It's not as simple as just, pressing Dragon Drive and getting those 3 amps to come up. You do actually have to time it a little bit. You have to time how often Bahamut is going to be able to get those skills up in the first place. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Make sure you're paying attention to when you're actually transforming into her in that aspect. Then, as part of the anniversary celebration, we're holding a free daily Tenfold summon, which allows you to perform a Tenfold summon on the applicable summon showcases once per day. This will allow you to get a free 100-fold summons, during which you can perform 100 summons on the applicable showcase for free, but only for a single day. It's likely that they'll do another special showcase with past limited units, hopefully. I'm hoping that they'll do that. Maybe it'll just be on a Dragalia. It's on the 5th day of November, so we'll look forward to see if there'll be a special banner for that. If there is a special banner, I'll be sure to cover it. Last time when they did this, I got Halloween Mim, who was a limited unit that I did not have before. So if they do that similarly, I'm hoping to get a new one as well. Then, the Angels and Apostles assemble in the Faith Forsaken Raid event. The Faith Forsaken Raid event is a 2-part spectacular that brings together the Angels and the Apostles, who you've met over the course of your previous event. The story is split into 2 halves, each with its own series of twists and turns. Those familiar with the plot of the main campaign will be excited to see the mysteries of the Northern Alien Church resolve and learn even more about the characters who we come to know and love. So we do have Harl here, and we have Azura as the raid boss. In this event is tied to the main campaign more than one. You'll be able to recruit the ever-elusive Harl to your roster by reading enough of the way into the story. Note that Harl's conviction will only be obtainable in the first half, so don't miss out on them if you're thinking about upgrading him. He has some secrets of his own just waiting to be revealed. If you think you know Harl, think again. So I won't go into the specifics of Harl because I already did that in another video. I touched on some of the aspects of him, and I'll touch on it again when I go over part 1 of the raid. On the 4th, probably. Actually, it might be on the 5th. The second part of the raid starts in about a week or about 11 days from now. But there's another epilogue part that we'll get before that. And then I'll cover the event, cover some of the mysteries revealed, cover some of the new information we have from this event. I do want to mention that they mentioned here that you'll only be able to get his convictions during the second part, or rather only in the first part, but you'll be able to get him without the convictions, meaning that you basically just be able to have him join his party in the second part. This, to me, hints at another Dream Summon ticket, like we got with the Vampy event after the 2.5 anniversary. If that's true, I'll be sure to make a video going over all the units, just updating the units that I had last time, sort of giving a new analysis, sort of focusing more on Curse of Nihility than when I was focused more on Agito and the Legends Vitals. Now that those are done, we can talk more about them. The meta isn't going to evolve that much, presuming past units. But for example, a unit like Grace, who I had at number 1, you should Dream Summon, might not be number 1 anymore due to the fact that her life shows just don't work in Curse of Nihility. So I will be covering that if that happens. Then the events take place after Chapter 2, so we're jumping a bit ahead in the timeline. The Prince and his friends will make an appearance in the second half, but we find out what happened and then play through Chapter 22 when it releases later this year. This is interesting because they're basically time skipping, and then they say that later on that we're going to get Chapter 22 at the end of October, so we are going to get spoiled about what's going to happen. Then, the adventurer Regina will be featured in the Psycho case on the 5th. She makes her debut as the leader as possible in the Faith Forsaken Raid event and is partnered with the Angel. I just call her Sandy because I can't pronounce that name, so I'm just going to say Sandy here. Sanda Dolphin, I think. In further details like her stat skills, please see the corresponding in-game notification. We will get that probably on Monday or Sunday, I think. Oh no, yeah, we'll get it on Monday. We'll get that on Monday. Looking like a blade, but I do want to bring up the fact that there have been some data mines of these two units, and their weapon types and elements are interesting, and actually Sandy is the most interesting. At some point when I get the banner review, we'll talk about that, but there could be a bit of deception going on here, so we'll have to look forward to that. The second half of the Raid Forsaken event will take place in mid-October. You'll be able to go toe-to-toe with a formidable foe that appears in the conclusion of the first half. You fight through the similar shared quest, but when you're ready to co-op, which will allow you 15 players to each control a single adventure. Prepare to have your teamwork tested. So, they say a foe that will appear in the second half, of the conclusion of the first half, rather, could be Ilia, or not Lilia, Lilith was teased, could be Satan, we'll have to see. Wind Legion Trial has been added to the Trials of the Mighty in mid-October. Materials for unlocking Wedding Owie's Mana Spiral will be available through the daily bonuses. Wedding Owie's getting her Mana Spiral. You could use your Omni Cred on her, which we did get today, but we have no indication of what other units are coming, and there are better units to use it on. I'm not going to make a video going over Omni Cred as a whole, or what units you should use it on, because I feel like a bunch of other people are going to make videos on that. My stance on it is I'm saving it. The only unit I would consider using it on is Summer Verica, because Summer Verica is probably one of the strongest Trials of the Mighty right now. She's probably the strongest form of overdamage at the moment. But I would only use it for Auto Ibis, which is right down here. And I already am able to auto that without her. So I think I'm going to wait, especially since her Trial of the Mighty, her second run, is coming up soon. So yeah, that's how I feel about Omnicrite. In the future, I will make a video going over, and when I bring up the Trial of the Mighty's characters, I will go over if I think you should use an Omnicrite on them or not, until I don't have any. So look forward to that. And additionally, I think that you should save it for a character that has a Mana Spiral, just on a baseline. Probably a Trials of the Mighty character, but definitely a character who has a Mana Spiral. If you're a new player and you're thinking about it as like, oh, I can use this to just 50 MC a unit, it might be beneficial in the short term, but this is a very valuable resource, so I wouldn't want you to waste it. So my recommendation is don't use it on a 50 MC unit, regardless of how much it helps you in the short term. Then we have Tamatek, which will be pinning you against water enemies. We have that there. Then Surtur will be added to the Rise of the Sinister Minion in late October. This will be one boss for each element. He's a big fire guy. And then after you clear Expert, not Master, after you clear Expert, you can read the epilogue. I like that because I actually haven't done Master yet. So that'll be fun. And I'll use this image in the thumbnail for this video. So good for that. And then future updates. Here when the big stuff comes. Legend difficulty will be added to Rise of the Sinister Dominion. We'll also update the treasure trade lineup and add epithets accordingly. As announced in our most recent episode of Dragalia Digest, we're working hard on putting the finishing touches into Enter the Kaleidoscope. It's released by the year's end. For those who missed the preview, you'll start out with a single adventure at level 1, then attempt to divulge and deep into the labyrinth as you start to be without being defeated, rather. The weapons and wormprints and skills you collect from fallen foes will help you survive, but you need to be at your wits to stay. You need your wits most of all. I am sorry, I was reading that way too fast. Stay on your toes in the ever-changing adventures, for you never know what danger is lurking around the corner. Further details will be provided closer to the event's release. So these two, I don't know when they're going to happen. I'm hoping it won't be for a while. Future content it could have any kind of window of when it could release. And personally, I think that it's kind of weird that they're showing this now, but it could be could be in the near future, could be very soon, could be very beneficial for us to see. And then we're giving all players 100 million rupees, which is great, and a sunlight stone, which is also great. So be sure to get both of those as you log in. And then we have the radio interview from the day before the anniversary. This one's going to be more brief, but it does have some very big tidbits of information. So let's start with the first one. In response to the news of suggested team features update in the near future to recommend the most successful team for co-op class, a player wrote in to request support for shared skills, even though they are not set automatically. So basically just adding shared skills to the suggested teams. And it says the team feature was added so players could see what the successful co-op version in 2.12 version was released on the 9th of September 23rd. We continue to work to improve this feature and be able to set new shared skills in a future update. So you will be able to see shared skills used in the shared teams function going forward. Recently, Shadowverse, a similar Cygames game, added QR codes to decks. Could be possible that we'll see something similar to the system that I have, where you have team codes or deck codes or QR codes that align with a team comp, so you can just copy and paste it over without having to see specifically what content it was cleared on. Then we've received requests to add a skip feature to standard and expert difficulty of the Agito Uprising. And it says we considered expanding the skip feature in a future update. As the game gets older, players have a chance to try their hand at a wide variety of high difficulty content, including Advanced Dragon Trials, the Agito Uprising, and Assisted Minions. With upcoming additions, even more high difficulty quests, it behooves us to ensure that players are not overwhelmed by the amount of content available. So we're considering allowing certain quests to be skipped after they have been cleared for the first time. This is huge because it means that grinding the Agito Uprising, grinding the Dragon Trials, grinding out the weapon bonuses, and just the weapon copies in general will become faster and easier, especially along with skip tickets. You get about six skip tickets a day, and if you can't clear that content, or you can only clear it once, you can just skip ticket. If you wanted to, you can hold up to 400 skip tickets at once. If you say, okay, I cleared this content once and I want to build a flame team, you skip Expert Volk 400 times, that's at least 3 weapons right there. Just automatically, 3 copies of weapons. It probably is even more. I don't know what the exact is, especially after the new update. I think it's 12 per. So, yeah, that's a lot. It's like 4,000. So, you're going to be getting a lot of those resources if you want to use skip tickets in that aspect, and you want, there's basically no time sync with that because it's just skip tickets. The only time skip is using the skip tickets themselves. So we'll have to see. A lot of people, new players that I've been talking to, have been commenting on the amount of skip tickets, so maybe they will be updating that soon. Then, through the AMP mechanic, which is still relatively new, the number of adventurers who make use of it are only going to increase over time, so players have added the request of the addition of an AMP feature to the sorting screen. And he basically just says we're considering adding this in the future. And then we have questions about the digest. We have a few questions related to digest. Could you explain upon the entering the kaleidoscope event? It appears as a dungeon crawler, but the mechanics are a little overwhelming at first glance, so where new players may struggle to complete it. So basically, I'm going to just summarize this. He gives a huge update on this. This is one update. Basically, you're going to go in. The goal is to reach the end. As you process, your adventure level will go up, and you'll get new skills and dragons along the way. Each character you bring into this, not each type of character. So, for example, Lowen is 2 characters. He has Halloween Lowen, and he has normal Lowen. Each Lowen will have their own specific worm print art and a slightly differing ability. As it says here, each and every adventurer has their own unique worm print, and each worm print differs slightly in abilities, but they can be equipped on any adventurer. You still earn one of these worm prints if you quit partway through, but reaching the end will reach one with a wider range of abilities. So essentially, every adventure in the game is going to have their own unique worm print that you can get from this, and you have to get to the end game to do it. This could potentially be actually bad, depending on how similar the prints are. For example, if a certain gacha unit has a very good print, it could mean that people are going to try to pull for that unit just for that print, but that's kind of a worst case situation. So I don't really expect that to happen, but it could happen. It's just very exciting to hear that every unit will have their own, not just every person, not just every adventurer, but every unit in the game will have their own. Very exciting. And then we'll play Will players be able to take their time with this event, or will it be only available for a limited time? If it's a permanent edition, will there be occasional updates to it? And they say it will be available to play at any time. We do plan to update this with more content in the future, but there are so many adventures in your party that we think that it will take time for people to get through it. So basically, yes, this is confirmation that every adventure in the game will be there at launch. That's the way at least I take it, that when this event comes out, player, you'll be able to do this with each and every adventure. It says right there. They're still married to completing it with each and every one of your adventures. So look forward to that again. And then can you share anything on the upcoming series of high difficult quests? Will they be the same level as what we have now, or will they be even more difficult? Also, will they have restrictions on elemental attunements and weapons they can use? And it says here, for those of you to watch the Dragalia Digest, the quest here will have you face off against the 5 Great Worms in their primordial forms. Exactly why you're going up these particular fields will be revealed in a future story development. For now, I can say that we plan to offer a variety of difficulties, with the most difficult naturally being extremely challenging. At the moment, we do not plan to impose any restrictions on the teams that players can put together. So what this says to me is they said a while back that they wanted Legend Agito to be the strongest content in the game, be the hardest content to clear in the game. To me, since this doesn't have a content restriction, this to me sounds like it will be between Sinister Dominion and Agito at this point. It sounds like it will be tough, but it won't be as hard as some of the things we will see in the Agito Uprising or in the Legend difficulty of the Sinister Dominion, that kind of thing. I don't know what you're going to be getting from this. Usually most endgame modes have something to grind. They haven't revealed that yet. It's a very interesting conversation of if we get the dragons in their primordial forms, what that would mean for Midgardstormer Zero, who is already a gacha dragon. Maybe we'll be able to get him for free. Maybe there'll be some sort of compensation with that. Or maybe we'll be getting some type of upgrade to the High Dragon weapons. There's a lot of things they can do with this. So it's a lot of speculatory, but it is good to hear that there won't be any team restrictions. So look forward to that. So yeah, this is really, there's a lot of just the three biggest things I have for you here are Legend difficulty coming to the Sinister Dominion, skip ticket on Agito, and the Prince in the Kaleidoscape, and then also additionally with this no team lock on the element of the Great Worms. But yep, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys next time.